So my name is Ian Wybrow, and I've been in Max for about 5.5 years. I'm a part-time person because I do have to make a living doing something else, unfortunately, and it's a very nice living. I'm still looking forward to the day when I don't have to do that anymore, when I can have other people do it for me, and then I can concentrate on this business full-time, because I tell people that other business fills my bank account and this one fills my soul. 5, 6 years ago, before I found Max, I was in my 60s, I'm 67 now, and I was starting to wonder, am I ever going to get to change somebody's life for real? You know, I have a business where I make people happy. I have a renovation business. I change their kitchens every day. I make them happy, but it's kind of a fleeting thing. It lasts for 3, 4, 5 years, and then their kitchen looks like crap again. It just wears out. So when I change somebody's life with Max, it's for keeps. Some people, the amazing changes that have had happen in their lives, where it brings them to tears and then it brings me to tears, that is an awesome feeling. And they say, you know, they come to me and they go, thank you so much for changing my life. I'm going, I just sold you a bottle of pills. You need to thank Dr. Nagasawa, because he's the one who created that pill. When I started in Max, we didn't, as I said, we did it part-time, but we came to a lot of meetings, we came to a lot of training. One of the first things I saw was this document that some of you have seen and some of you may not have seen. It says the 74 plus diseases associated with low glutathione. Does everybody know what glutathione is? I'm sure some guests may not have heard of glutathione, but I think most of us know what it is now. And on that list was a disease that my sister passed away from 2 years before I discovered Max. But Max had been in Canada for 7 years at that time. So for 5 years, I was lacking a piece of knowledge that could have potentially, and we don't know for sure, but potentially changed my sister's life. Might have saved her, might have prolonged her life and made it last a little longer. And so she has a daughter and a granddaughter who she will not get to see the rest of their lives. They won't get to see her granddaughter grow up and get married. She won't see that. And at that time I thought, this is my purpose. I've discovered, somebody has shown me the way to change lives in a way that can make that not happen for some people. That day when either their life or the life of a loved one is taken from them because they don't know this little piece of knowledge that I now know. So we're going to start off, we're going to have a presentation about the business, like the Max company itself, how it came to be. We're going to have in the presentation some information about how the science works, what the products are and what they do, and then a little touch on at the end about how you can create a business out of this. A nice home-based business, part-time, full-time, retirement business, doesn't really matter what you do with it, just know in the process that you can change lives. So starting off tonight is a young lady who has a very nice smile, by the way, and she's been with Max for 2 years now. She's a bronze associate. I'd like you to welcome Linda Coffin.
Good evening to everyone. This is such an exciting opportunity for me to be up here with the Rockstar microphone and talking about Max International. So how exciting. And as Ian alluded, I've been with Max for about 2 years. What an incredible company. When you take a look at the science and the products and what it can do for people, and then take a look at the business, it's just a slam dunk that it hits all the right marks. I'm a trained accountant, and I worked for the government for 37 years, and I am blessed to be retired now. But I call that a redirection, and my redirection is to fuel my passion in Max, and that is to help people. So to help people, as Ian said, achieve a better quality of health and wealth, because we all know, and we all run into people every day that could use a better quality of health and wealth. We know that. So this evening, we're here to talk about Max International. It's known around the globe as the glutathione company, and it's world-renowned for this. It's got top-grade ingredients. It has got phenomenal research. It has got all of the credibility, and it is also not a luxury item. This is something that our bodies need in the 21st century. And through this presentation, you're going to understand all of that. We're going to start off with a bit of a video, and I think it's going to touch all of us in different ways. We have choices that we make every day, and I'm sure that we're going to want to make particular choices after this video.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide. The average Canadian will spend their last 10 years in sickness. Change your future at makehealthlast.ca.
I want to be on the left-hand side of that vignette, not the right-hand side, but all too often we know far too many people that are on the right-hand side. So Max International has some opportunity to take a look at how to revert back to the left-hand side of that video and paint a different picture. So as guests, you're here for one or two reasons, and perhaps you want to break free of those financial chains that have been holding you back from reaching those dreams. And those financial chains include that Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 grind where you don't necessarily ever get ahead, you don't get those raises, and you may not even get that pension at the end of the day or the promotion that you were hoping for all the hard work you get. The other reason that you are here as guests is perhaps you want to be super healthy like this young girl on the beach. She is definitely healthy at this point. She is, over the next 6 months or 6 years, going to be experiencing cellular deterioration, as we all do in that aging process. So welcome to the business of the future, and Max International embodies that business of the future. Network marketing is taking over the world as a global opportunity, and we're going to be talking about that opportunity in the next coming slides, the phenomenal products, the science, and the visionaries who brought all of this to us. We're going to start with the founder, Stephen K. Scott, and you may have known of him or heard his name. He is the co-founder of American Telecast. He's an amazing man, brilliant. He's a New York Times best-selling author, and he also is the gentleman who is a multi-billion-dollar success story with Total Gym. It's been marketed for decades now, and he started that phenomenal celebrity promotion. Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley were the two stars that were part of that Total Gym creation that made Stephen K. Scott millions, and I believe you can still buy a Total Gym today. So as a New York Times best-selling author, he definitely promoted the philosophy of effective partnering, whether that was in marriage, business, and he put that effective philosophy of partnering to the test when he came across this amazing product that Max International was based on. And so he went to his competition, and his competition are Bill Guthrie and Greg Renker, and themselves, they are multi-billion-dollar success stories. They're part of the world's largest direct selling company, and you may know some of the products they sell, including Proactive Solutions. And again, they model the celebrity endorsement with Justin Bieber and Jessica Simpson as well. So phenomenally successful men. So who better to go to when you're testing out a product but your competition? And so he asked them to take a look at it. And through that review, they were thorough and they validated the credibility of the founder, the doctor, the products, and as well the company. So it's really good to know for us that we are associated in Max International with these business visionaries. So let's take a look at the leading medical researchers. And without these phenomenally brilliant gentlemen, we wouldn't be here today. We're going to start with Robert Keller at the bottom. He is the National Institute of Health and VA Scientific Panel. He is one of the top 2,000 scientists of the 21st century, an amazing, brilliant man. One of the few doctors who is triple board certified in immunology, hematology, and oncology. Absolutely brilliant. So he had published more than 100 articles and himself was a humanitarian, and a lot of his research was focused on AIDS. And so he developed the first product for Max International, GXL. Some of you may know that product in the room. And Dr. Herbert T. Nagasawa, he is also an absolutely brilliant researcher. The two did not know each other, yet they were studying and researching the same science, which is very interesting. Dr. Nagasawa is an incredible man, and I understand that those bow ties that he wears are made by his wife, which is very, very charming. And he works to this day full-time, and he is in his 90s, so his dedication is phenomenal. So 45 years of being a professor and in the research community. He was a senior editor. He was a professor of medicinal chemistry at the University of Minnesota, an absolutely brilliant man. 32 years of the editor of the Journal of Medicinal Chemistry, and 165 peer-reviewed articles, a staggering number. And a peer-reviewed article is when you ask your equally brilliant colleague to put their reputation on the line to actually validate your science. So quite a feat, and Dr. Nagasawa has done this 165 times. And he still is continuing his research to this day. So to give you a bit of a background on even how more brilliant this man was, the United States, the Homeland Security was looking for an antidote to cyanide poisoning. So chemical warfare was something that, that definitely became our reality the last couple of decades. And so calling scientists the best and the brightest together, the United States government asked for scientists to come up with a 3-minute antidote because cyanide poisoning can kill you in 5. So Dr. Nagasawa was the only scientist to actually achieve a 3-minute antidote and actually was not able to attend the actual unveiling of one of his first products with Max International because he was receiving these accolades from the government of the United States. So a brilliant man on many fronts. Both of these gentlemen were humanitarian. Dr. Keller, humanitarian in his research in AIDS, and Dr. Nagasawa, a humanitarian in his research with the Vietnam vets coming back from war with significant liver disease and other health issues. So the other thing that Max International has is this amazing health advisory council. And this is a fleet of doctors who volunteer their time to contribute to the betterment of Max International. So you will see that there are many different disciplines here. And I want to point out Dr. John Kindle, who is actually here this evening. He is a family practice practitioner out of Ottawa. He has been with the company since inception, so I think 11 years. And in addition, Dr. Douglas Harrington, an amazing cardiologist, and you will see his endorsement of other products when we get into the slides later. Very personable gentleman, and he makes being healthy easy, which is phenomenal. Dr. Scott Nagasawa, he's a doctor, he has a doctorate in pharmacology, which complements the knowledge with Max International beautifully. So there are about 3,000 doctors in Max International, and doctors rotate in and out of this Health Advisory Council on a regular basis. And it's to share their knowledge in their community and to provide advice to Max International as they grow and move forward. So what brought these amazing researchers, business visionaries, and doctors together? Well, there's 2 global concerns that are touching on all of us. And we're going to start with that financial crisis. I'm sure that we all know people who have lost their jobs, or who have felt that loss of opportunity as downsizing occurs and they don't have the skills in order to seek other jobs, or they're getting moved out by younger people coming into the workforce. We've got unprecedented poverty levels, and that's globally, and we've got that massive gap between those that are poor and those that are rich, and that gap seems to be growing all the time. So the other global concern is declining health, and the stats here are staggering. There's over 80,000 chemicals in our air, food, and water, and that's a conservative number depending on what source you're reading from. There's over 200 foreign chemicals found in the human blood, and those foreign chemicals actually extend to newborn babies as well through the umbilical cord. And so there's unprecedented levels of stress. We all know our busy lifestyles, but that just seems to be escalating all the time. So whether it's our poor diets, our lack of energy, fatigue, chronic health issues, there's a variety of things that are contributing to our declining health. So something to keep in mind, and definitely something that Max International is looking to help eradicate around the world.